the attack of a poltergeist. What supernatural force is hunting a young woman in her own apartment? Can the psychics deal with it? Don't miss out. The psychics are to face an entity they've never seen before. You are watching Psychic Investigations, a project of exclusively true and astonishing stories. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate tangled criminal cases and shocking mystical anomalies. A typical two-room apartment in one of Kiev's neighborhoods. It belongs to this 29-year-old beauty, Iryna. However, for the past 3 months, she's been too scared to even approach her own home.
Something lives here. It's some kind of invisible entity, and it scares me so much that I'm starting to worry for my life.
It all began 2 years ago. One night, Iryna woke up to a strange noise.
Like someone was scratching the door with claws from top to bottom.
At the time, Iryna didn't think much of it. But a month later, she saw something that made her heart sink.
I saw a little boy sitting in the armchair, and as I looked, he seemed misty, almost translucent.
Terrified, Iryna ran out of the room and started reciting prayers. It took her an hour to gather the courage to return. By then, the figure was gone. But the next night, something even more horrifying woke her up.
It was hairy. Its face looked like a wolf's.
Iryna screamed in fear, and the strange creature disappeared. Frightened, she called her mother, who lives with her husband in another part of the city.
She said, "Mom, it's like something is trying to force me out of the apartment. It won't let me live here."
Genuinely terrified for her daughter, the mother took her to see a psychiatrist, but he assured them that Iryna was completely sane. The medics couldn't explain anything, so the women immediately had the apartment blessed. Nothing changed, though, but it got even worse.
I constantly look over my shoulder because I feel like something is standing behind me or watching me. It's terrifying.
But the final straw came 4 months ago. Iryna dozed off in the afternoon, and when she woke up, she couldn't get out of bed.
I was paralyzed. It felt like my body was pressed with a concrete slab. I couldn't move at all. Whatever I did, I failed to get up. Then I touched my face, thinking, "Oh my God, what happened?" And then I saw my hands were covered in blood.
Barely gathering her strength, Iryna got up, went to the mirror, and froze in shock. Her face was covered in blood. Her mother is beside herself with worry. She convinced Iryna to move in with her because she's afraid of losing her daughter.
It's terrifying.
What strange phenomena are occurring in this ordinary apartment, and why are they threatening its owner? To find out, Iryna decided to ask an Azerbaijani psychic, Khayal Alekperov, for help. He happened to be in Ukraine, and so immediately began the investigation.
What's happening in her home is connected to a force that only exists in Slavic lands. I saw there was no such thing in my homeland, so I asked Hala Polishchuk to help me with this investigation.
When she learned that her colleague needed her help, Hala Polishchuk hurried to Kiev.
Khayal. Hello.
Hello, Hala. While working with the photo, I got a strange image. I saw a mosque I'd once visited during a pilgrimage. It's in Turkey, but I can't figure out how this is connected to Iryna.
On the train, I saw, for some reason, not her, but a boy, a school-aged boy lying as if tied up. And above him, there was a man holding something sharp and stabbing him repeatedly. Everything was covered in blood. I felt that the man was possessed by the devil himself.
But what does this mean? Could it be that the boy was once killed in the apartment where Iryna lives? And is that why strange and frightening events keep happening there? The psychics went to the address Iryna had given them and arrived there half an hour later.
So this is the place. Let's go.
No one has lived in this apartment for 3 months. Iryna is too terrified to enter. However, to help the psychics uncover the reasons behind the strange occurrences, she summoned the courage to cross the threshold of her home once more.
Hello? Please come in. I can't live in my own apartment. I desperately need you to help me.
Can we take a look around?
Yes, of course, go ahead.
I feel water pouring.
There was water in the hallway. And in the kitchen, right here.
This happened about 3 months ago. When Iryna woke up one morning, she found small puddles of unknown origin all over the apartment. She tried to find a logical explanation, suspecting a pipe burst or a leaking faucet. She called a plumber, but he found nothing wrong whatsoever. But how is it even possible?
Tears. You sleep there, but here, someone is sitting and crying.
Who is the clairvoyant referring to? Who cries at night in Iryna's apartment? After all, she lives alone.
Let's start by tuning in to you. As soon as I touched you, I got an image. I see a little girl weeping. The girl, it's you. Your father left the family. You were little when he abandoned you.
My parents divorced when I was 10.
Iryna's father left the family for another woman.
Mom divorced him. His true nature was revealed. He had been cheating on her with another woman.
Since leaving his family, the man hasn't visited his daughter even once. Iryna recalls crying almost every night, thinking he abandoned the family because of her.
I feel like you lived in a small space with your mother. A tiny room, right?
We lived in a dormitory.
Iryna's father worked as a mechanic at a factory. The company provided him with a room in a dormitory, and the family waited 10 years for their turn to receive a 2-room apartment. But when the time came, the man left his wife and child, transferring the apartment to his name. Iryna and her mother stayed in the cramped dormitory room.
Your father betrayed you, leaving you to fend for yourselves. Your mother worked tirelessly to feed and clothe you.
Iryna's mother is a hairdresser. She worked hard to provide for her daughter. Iryna recalls her mother rarely being home, taking extra shifts and more clients to earn extra income.
It was very hard for her. She was alone.
But later it seems your mother started her own business.
Soon, Iryna's mother opened her own hair salon. The business turned out to be profitable, and she immediately began saving for a new home.
At that moment, I saw an image of Iryna and her mother sitting together, carefully choosing an apartment. The neighborhood they wanted to live in was very important to them.
Indeed, Iryna and her mother chose the apartment prudently, as it was their dream to have their own home. They bought this one.
The dream came true. We could finally live normally, like everyone else, with our own bathroom and kitchen.
A few months after the purchase, her mother met a man she fell in love with, got married, and moved in with him. Iryna stayed in the apartment.
But the worst part is that your dream soon turned into a nightmare.
Yes, the nightmare of my life.
Oh, what's this?
How is this even possible?
Iryna, there's some entity in the apartment and it's here right now. But I can't understand what it is. Your fear isn't unfounded. You're truly in danger.
Terrified, Iryna asks the clairvoyants to go outside.
Let's go outside.
As soon as they went out, Iryna received a call from her mother.
Where are you? How much longer will you be at work? When will you be home?
Her mother rushed out of work to support her daughter. The investigation goes on.
Come in.
But once the psychics entered the apartment, the lights unexpectedly went out. Hearing the commotion, a neighbor from the adjacent apartment came out. She was surprised, as her apartment still had power.
If the power goes out, it usually goes out in the whole building. They have power, right? So it's just here.
Do you have power, Nadia? But we don't. It went out suddenly. Just like that.
What do we do now? What if we can't fix it?
We spent an hour trying to resolve the electrical issue. Only after restoring the power did we continue the investigation.
I see a boy sitting here. He's dressed entirely in black. He's wearing something resembling a long robe, like those worn by church clergy. He looks about 11 years old. He's showing me an image. Many children dress the same way. Wait, this is some kind of religious school.
I see a basement. The boy is lying there. A man raises a knife and stabs him repeatedly, chopping him into pieces.
The boy was brutally murdered. How horrible. He's saying now it was a ritual. My God, what a nightmare. Who could have done it to a child?
What are the clairvoyants talking about? Could it be that a boy was murdered in the basement of this building, and his spirit is now haunting Iryna?
The entire city knew of the murder. I sense fear. Nothing like this had ever happened before, but it was a long time ago.
Kayal, but it's not here. Not here.
Now I seem to see a cave. That's where the boy was killed.
For a long time, we couldn't understand the meaning of the psychic's strange visions. Iryna and her mother hadn't heard of the horrific murder, but it turned out that it indeed occurred in this area in 1911, and it was a ritual murder.
The Mendel-Baylis case caused a lot of noise and resonance in 1911 to 1913. It concerned the murder of Andrei Yushchinsky.
The Baylis case was the most resonant court case of pre-revolutionary times in the then Russian Empire. The boy was a preparatory class student at the Kiev Theological School. His murder was classified as ritualistic, and Menahem Mendel-Baylis, a clerk at a factory not far from the crime scene, was accused of this heinous crime.
The body was found in a cave in the area. The case caused a stir as a ritual murder motivated by moral and religious considerations.
The suspect spent 2 years in prison before being acquitted, but the real perpetrators were never found. The case remains unsolved for over 100 years.
But what is the boy's spirit doing in your apartment? After all, he wasn't killed here. Another image. Dead bodies. Lots of them. At one moment, hundreds of people seem to be caught in a death avalanche. This is horrific. The bodies were scattered everywhere. I felt that it was some kind of tragedy in which many people died.
I see muddy water and corpses. Lots of corpses spinning around. Everything here is spinning.
You know, Hala, deaths. There was a tragedy here in the 60s. God, it was an awful mud flow. People drowned.
This happened in the 1960s. The sewage waters broke through a dam and flooded an entire neighborhood of the capital, killing many people.
Houses were completely covered with mud. It was a terrible, unstoppable flow.
Eyewitnesses claim the mud flow reached 20 meters in width and was taller than a person.
But your building wasn't affected by the flood. I still don't understand why all these souls of the deceased are in your apartment. It's just horrifying. I don't feel well. I think my blood pressure is hiked.
Kayal, do you need water?
It's unbelievable, but the psychic seems to be feeling worse and worse.
My nose is bleeding.
The last time my nose bled was when my body was paralyzed. For 3 seconds, my body felt like stone. I got up from the couch sharply, and my nose started bleeding too.
How are you feeling?
Thank you, I feel better now. I'm sorry, but it's never happened to me before. I've never seen anything like what's happening in your apartment.
But why have spirits from all over the area gathered in an ordinary apartment?
The souls we see here are being drawn into your apartment like into a black hole. Something has pulled them into your home.
It's a paralyzing fear. I'm even scared to breathe. I feel as though something is standing behind me, and I'm terrified to turn my head not to see what's there.
I feel someone's gaze on me right now. It's some entity, and it's mad. To understand what it is, I need to perform a ritual. I see an image again, the one that came to me at the start of the investigation, right after we met, Hala. I saw a mosque. I'd been there on a pilgrimage. It was in Turkey. I'd visited several places there. Wait, I think I understand what's going on. There's something from the country I'm being shown in your apartment.
Yes, yes. We have an amulet from Turkey.
Could you please bring it to me?
But what does the amulet have to do with the horrors happening in Iryna's apartment?
This is a very bad object now.
It's an amulet.
Just a gift.
It's against the evil eye. When we moved in, a friend gifted it to me.
3 years ago, Allah's friend gave her the amulet. She had indeed brought it from Turkey.
At that moment, I found it very strange that negativity was emanating from the amulet that was meant to work in a positive way. But this very amulet created the black hole, pulling all the dark and supernatural energies into the apartment.
This amulet was originally created for protection, but it only works for 1 year. Then it needs to be replaced or recharged. Otherwise, it starts to work against you.
I invited a priest here to bless the apartment. See, he blessed it. When he saw the amulet, he said, "This is devilry. Get rid of it."
And you hit it without blessing it too?
Yes,
Kayal, this object couldn't have caused this much harm on its own. But it absorbed the negative energy. This is horrible.
Yes, I see it now. It's working in reverse, like a vacuum, sucking negative energy into the apartment from all around.
This is incredible. All the horrors occurring in this woman's apartment were caused by a simple Turkish amulet that was hung in the wrong place. It's hard to believe, but Iryna almost died of fear. She couldn't even get out of bed one day, and her face was covered in blood. Was this also because of the amulet?
Look, I see him.
Yes, I see him too.
Poor thing, he's scared.
Who exactly do the psychics see?
I've never seen a creature like this before. It's short, with small hands and feet, and it's all hairy. It has big eyes. It's like a little human, but it looks so exhausted.
It's a domovoi.
That's why from the very beginning of this investigation, I sensed we'd be dealing with a force specifically from Slavic lands. After all, there are no domovois in my homeland, but that creature wasn't evil. On the contrary, it was fighting the entities constantly present in the apartment. And now it barely has any strength left to fight.
It is said that every house has a domovoi, a house elf that protects the home and its inhabitants from negativity. If evil enters the home, this little creature fights until the very end to save its residents.
when the amulet started working in reverse, pulling spirits of the deceased into Iryna's apartment and threatening her life. The domovoi fought them off, but it became increasingly difficult for it to repel the dark forces. Eventually, it ran out of strength, so to draw attention to the situation, it spilled puddles of water in the apartment, prevented Iryna from getting out of bed, and caused her nose to bleed. The domovoi was just trying to scare Iryna into taking action before it was too late. To calm this creature and recharge the amulet, I need water, as it helps cleanse energy. Done. Now you must hang this amulet in the correct place, as that's crucial for its proper function. Come with me. It must be here, on this side of the door, above the entrance. That's it. The path for dark forces is blocked, and all the negative energy is leaving the apartment.
The only thing left is to apologize to the domovoi, who suffered so much while protecting Iryna and us from the horrors that could have occurred. Iryna needs to leave a glass of milk and some cookies for it and say, "Thank you, Master, for watching over me."
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
A portal to the netherworld in an ordinary apartment, and a murderous ghost hunting a child. Don't miss out. Can the psychics protect a girl from a poltergeist? In this episode, the clairvoyants will try to save the life of a charming Ukrainian girl, Stefania. Not so long ago, the little third grader did cheerleading, a sporting discipline that combines the elements of dancing, gymnastics, and acrobatics.
Turn around. The fist to the floor, and another hand. And the split.
She is the Ukrainian cheerleading champion. That is, she had a very promising future.
Stefania dreamed of winning the World Cup and making her family and nation famous.
I wanted to be the best athlete, and then a coach.
But last fall, a tragedy occurred that made her forget her hopes. The 9-year-old girl had a bad heart attack. Stefania almost died.
Her heart was leaping out. She had wild tachycardia.
She was delivered to the intensive care unit with a pulse rate of 240 beats per minute.
The doctors diagnosed her with supraventricular tachycardia, a sudden surge in heart rate that, if not addressed promptly, could lead to fatal consequences.
Before the operation, they told us, "It's a miracle you saved your daughter."
Stefania underwent an urgent surgery. Her parents spent a day and a night at the door of the intensive care ward, praying their daughter would live. However, the girl's family, coach, or even doctors can't explain how a healthy and active child suddenly developed such problems with her heart.
Stefania had absolutely no problems with her health. It's a sports school, so our students undergo regular checkups every 6 months.
A few weeks prior to the incident, the girl had undergone a pre-tournament examination, which revealed no issues or defects in her heart.
All children have a compulsory examination. A cardiologist takes cardiograms, and the kids undergo all the necessary tests. She had no negative results at all. That is, she was absolutely healthy. We were shocked.
But the strangest thing is that a day before the attack, Stefania had had a nightmare.
I saw a funeral. It was my funeral. I remember I stopped breathing. Then I was taken to a morgue. And then I was buried.
Oleg and Yulia, the girl's parents, say Stefania had told them of her nightmares even before that. They noticed that, after such dreams, their daughter found herself a step away from death.
Her birthday's on the 1st of December. At the training, she fell and broke her arm.
I had another nightmare. It was also about a funeral. And I was there. There was a woman there. And she said, Stefania, come over here. Stefania, come over here.
The girl's nightmares are getting more frequent, and the lively, active child is fading rapidly. The attacks continued even though, after the complicated surgery, the doctors guaranteed Stefania would come back to living a normal life.
The doctors were 100% sure. They guaranteed it. But now she's been handicapped and disabled since childhood.
Stefania's family is sure some kind of otherworldly force is trying to take the girl away. Most of all, the fear that they can lose their daughter after another nightmare.
She's my sister, and I worry about her. I can lose her any moment. This is the worst thing of all.
Stefania's parents are sure only the psychics can save the girl from death.
This is the cry of the heart, the cry for help. Help us save our daughter.
I'm addressing the psychics, asking them to help me. This isn't something from the human world. It came from the world of spirits.
Famous clairvoyants Olena Kurilova and Rubina Tsibulska embark on the case.
I've arranged the mirror corridor to see and understand who or what is threatening the child. A woman drags her by the hand. She's dark-haired and she wears a black headscarf. She takes it off and extends it to Stefania. The girl puts it on. Then she pulls the girl into another world. And another picture, a table, and she's lying on it. The table is cold and the place looks like a morgue. She's on the table, and she's surrounded by other tables with little children lying on them. What a terrible vision.
I see a dark-haired boy. He extends his hands and there's fire in his palms. He tells me, "Shall we play?" Wait. Laughter. I hear children's laughter. Two boys, little blonde angels. They're laughing. This is very weird.
But who are the boys? And how are they connected to what is going on with the girl? To sort it out, the psychics go to see Stefania's family.
Hello.
My name is Yulia. These are my children, Arseny, Karina, and Stefania.
Stefania. Stefania, could you please look into the mirror? Do you see yourself? A vision. A bed with a wooden back and Stefania's lying in it, quietly, on her side. And I see two hanged women next to her. I had chills running down my spine. On both sides of the girl, two dead women were hanging in slip knots. The women were identical or almost identical. They had similar clothes and faces, and even their heads were tinted similarly.
Are they twins?
Do you know what it could mean?
No.
But what does the psychic's vision of the two hanged women mean? And what does it have to do with the girl?
Do you remember earlier today before the investigation I told you I'd seen a boy with dark curly hair? He's calling me. He's trying to take me somewhere else, to another place. He's saying something about a fire and home.
In the apartments.
It's hard for Yulia to speak of it, but we learned that there had been a fire in the apartment the family rented previously.
The answer is there. Can we see that place?
Yes, we can.
Yulia's husband also arrived to his family's former residence after work. Yuri, the apartment's owner, is having the place renovated. He recognized the psychics and let them in. There, they immediately shocked everyone with their revelations.
A vision. The two little angels lying on their sides next to each other. And the third? The third? It's a boy. He's bigger. He's elder.
There were two of them.
Are these your kids, Yulia? Are these your sons? So it means right at the door they...
Emil was lying at the door and Timothy was next to the wardrobe.
Emushka?
Yes, Emushka. I always called him Emushka.
My God.
It's impossible to comprehend the thing that happened in this apartment. Yulia and Oleg lost two sons here. The elder boy, Timothy, was 4, and the younger, Emil, was 2. The wiring caught fire.
The place was shrouded in smoke.
They suffocated.
The spouses will never forget that awful day. Oleg was at work. He had a shift at the mine. Their elder children were at school, while Stefania was at the kindergarten, not far from home. Yulia went to take her home and left her younger son's home alone.
I remember I asked my elder kids, please, somebody, come home earlier. But unluckily, they were all busy. Why did it have to happen on that day? Had I known it was the last day of their lives, I would have come up with something different.
Yulia was only gone for 20 minutes, but by the time she and Stefania got home, the boys were already dead.
I simply remember the moment when I entered the courtyard. These 2 benches and the green blankets, they were covered with hospital blankets. God. I have no life. I think that I only blame myself for it.
He loved you so much. And he says, Dad, I love you so much. He embraces you saying, Dad, I love you so much.
It's his favorite phrase, I love you so much.
Were your children baptized?
We didn't have time.
I had a vision. A morgue, the 2 boys, and Stefania. The table, and she's lying on top of it. And other tables around. Other little children are lying on them.
I had a dream. I saw myself from the outside. I was lying in the morgue. And then I saw my brothers, Emil and Timothy.
But what does this vision mean? Will Stefania really die? Are her dead brothers trying to take her away?
She cared for them a lot, and she loved them. She was a second mom to them.
I miss them so much, and I can only think of them. I'd really like if Timothy and Emil were alive, to take Emil to the kindergarten and Timothy to school.
It was impossible that the dead boys were trying to take their sister away. Stefania's brothers would never hurt her.
It was possible the boys had been killed by the same force that was hunting their sister. I saw the boy with the fire in his hands again. He'd brought us to the apartment, but now he was smiling, saying, "It's just a game." I couldn't understand anything. Who was this boy? Only 2 children were in the apartment on that day. Olena, but you mentioned 3.
He didn't die here in this apartment, but you're somehow connected to him.
How old was the boy?
11 or 12.
Water.
We'd lived in the apartment for 5 years before we learned a child had died in it.
He dove into the water and broke his neck. He never resurfaced. We'd lived in that apartment for a long time. They were born there.
Timothy and Emil were born there.
Were Timothy and Emil born in the apartment?
I understood I'd seen the dark-haired boy for a reason. He could be connected to the brothers' deaths because they burned, and in my vision, he was holding fire in his hands.
It turned out that while the family lived in another apartment, Yulia gave birth to 3 children, Stefania, Emil, and Timothy. The boys were already dead. The girl had been on the brink of death a few times. It was possible that death was coming for the children from that apartment.
The psychics go to check their idea on the site. Nobody answers the door, as the apartment is currently uninhabited. So, the clairvoyants work at its door.
The boy drowned in a body of water, but his spirit keeps coming to the place where he lived.
Elena, what is this?
There was a fire in this apartment.
Yes, I woke up to the strong scent. I couldn't breathe. It was a miracle that I woke up at all. The children were sleeping with me. They were always with me.
Everyone is stunned. Does this imply that Yulia's children were under threat from the fire prior to the tragedy that claimed their lives?
He came, the boy's spirit came.
But it was strange that it kept coming to other places where Yulia's children lived. What did he want?
What does this mean? Did the drowned boy's spirit cause the fire in another apartment as well? Did Timothy and Emil die because of him?
I have a feeling he thinks of you as his family. They're my brothers and sister. Did Stefania do anything? She sees something, and she's pointing her finger and waving it. Did she do it?
Yes. I'm playing. Who are you playing with? This is my friend. This is what she told me. Other kids laughed at her. She locked herself into the room and spent hours inside. It was his room, the boy's room.
The child, I hear him. A moment. He's crying. I was simply playing with them, don't blame me. He doesn't want to kill anyone.
The boy was very lively. He was full of energy. He was running and bolting. He was bright as a spark. Whenever he came around, electricity circuited. The wiring began sparkling.
Yes, the electricity reacted.
Lights started blinking. It could turn off and on itself.
It seemed it was the cause of the fire in the other apartment in which the family had lived. After Yulia went to take Stefania home from the kindergarten, the drowned boy's spirit came to play with the brothers. His energy set fire to the wiring, and the boys died.
This is why Rubina saw him say, "Shall we play?" Then why's it happening to Stefania? What is this thing?
Yulia, the boy says he's not bothering you anymore. He's not haunting your home.
The spirit realized the fire was his fault, and he felt guilty of the brothers' deaths. So, not to harm anyone else, the boy's spirit stopped visiting the children.
Then what is trying to take the girl away?
At that moment, I looked into the mirror and caught a glimpse of a woman in a black headscarf. Then I remembered that I'd seen her earlier that day.
The boy says she used to live in the apartment where the fire killed your children.
But who is this woman in the black headscarf? And why, in the psychic's visions, is she dragging Yulia's daughter to the grave? The clairvoyants decide to go back to the apartment in which the fire took Stefania's brothers.
Who shoved me? It was sharp like this.
I saw Timothy in front of me.
Wait, how did you see him? Was he in some kind of haze?
Yes. And there was light shining above.
There's an open portal. I needed to find a mirror in the apartment. It would show me the answer. Look, a hanged woman. She's in here. She's reflected in the mirror. She's restless. Were you her husband?
Yes, we live together.
And she did it on some holiday, right?
Yes, it was winter, the New Year's Eve.
I felt the woman's suicide was somehow connected to Yuri. He'd done something that had made the woman hang herself. She left a note. Who did it address?
It was for me. She wrote, "Anastasia, I love you."
It turned out that Anastasia is Yuri's late wife's daughter. She stole the man from her mother, and after her suicide, she married her stepfather.
I looked at the place where the apartment's former owner hung herself and saw her in the slipknot. And then I realized it. I understood what my vision of the hanged twins meant. They weren't twins. The two hanged women in the black headscarves were the owner of the apartment and her reflection in the mirror. At the moment of her death, a portal between the worlds opened in the mirror, and it remained open. Through it, the woman's spirit kept coming back to the apartment, and for some reason, she stuck to Stefania. But how and why had it happened? Baby, tell me, please. I had a vision of you in this apartment, standing with a piece of dark, black cloth.
Did you put it on?
Yes, I did. Karina was sleeping in the room, and I noticed the light turning on and off in it. When I went in there to check, I didn't see anybody. But I found a black headscarf. We didn't have such headscarves at home. When I took it into my hands, it was cold.
The black headscarf the girl found used to belong to the dead owner of the apartment. Once the girl put it on, her spirit stuck to her.
The connection with spirits sucks power out of even the strongest psychics, let alone an ordinary child. We needed to break the link, otherwise, Stefania would die.
We'll conduct a ritual.
We're going to close the portal. We need to close the mirror.
O Lord, thou who lives in heaven,
put the mirror on the floor. I release you, I block the path. Break it. Leave. Leave. All right, we did it. We blocked her way here. This is it. All the ways are blocked.
Baby, step over the mirror. All right. Good job.
Stefania, do you see the corridor?
No.
Did you see the closed door?
Yes.
That's it. She's gone.
You will be fine. Do you hear me?
I'm not scared anymore.
I'm not simply grateful. I love you.
We love you too. We love you too. Do you hear me?
This is unbelievable. The girl almost lost her life after she played with the dead woman's black headscarf. A sinister otherworldly entity is claiming the lives of the residents of a building. Don't miss out. A force that the psychics will encounter for the first time in the project's history. We received a plea from 30-year-old Tetiana Andrushko. On May 27th, her mother-in-law, Zhenya, suddenly passed away. The woman was electrocuted while doing laundry. However, Tetiana still doesn't understand how it happened, as the washing machine wasn't operating when she found her body.
We were all shocked.
Zhenya was only 50 years old. She had two grown sons, Andriy and Serhiy. She lived with her elder son, Andriy, his wife Tetiana, and their 3-year-old daughter, Masha. Her younger son moved in with his wife's parents after getting married.
We were a family. She always referred to me as her daughter.
At the time, Tetiana was in the final month of pregnancy with her second daughter. Zhenya was looking forward to the birth of the baby, but never saw her granddaughter.
I felt very unwell upon hearing the news. I immediately called the doctor, and she told me to come to the hospital to prevent premature labor.
On the last day of her life, Zhenya was at the family's country house with her relatives, tidying up the house and yard after winter.
I was sorting potatoes. My sister was in the garden and she was doing laundry.
Even to this day, we can't come to terms with it. She knew how to use the washing machine. Besides, we'd only purchased it before Easter. It was brand new, made of plastic, so it couldn't electrocute anyone. And she even finished with the machine and put the laundry in a basin. So, where the electricity came from, I don't know.
The police who arrived at the scene could only confirm the death of Zhenya Andrushko. According to forensic medical reports, death occurred due to an electric shock.
Tetiana can't believe that this was just an unfortunate accident. She's convinced it's the result of some negative magical influence.
Before it happened, I had a feeling of someone watching me through the small window in the door and walking around the kitchen, as if someone had come for her or something.
Moreover, Tetiana says her mother-in-law had a premonition of an early death. Zhenya claimed to see an unknown entity and was seeking to meet with the psychics.
Zhenya wanted the psychics to visit to us.
However, Zhenya never got the chance to speak to them.
We also want the psychics to come to us.
Clairvoyants Olena Kurilova and Olga Kalinova took on the case.
I went into a small shop and this figurine caught my attention. It contains spruce, pine, walnut, and ash. When I held it in my hands, I had a vision. I saw myself and Olena in a strange room. There was a lot of blood around us and an inexplicable smell. I bought the figurine and immediately called Olena.
I knew it was a sign.
The psychics head to meet Tetiana, who is already waiting for them. After learning that the clairvoyants were coming, Zhenya's entire family gathered outside. They too don't believe it was an accident.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for coming. My mother-in-law died. She was electrocuted. The official version is that it was an accident, but I don't believe it and think there's magic involved. Please come in.
We need to tune in.
Tetiana's mother-in-law spent most of her time in the room where the clairvoyants are now working.
When the coin fell, I realized it wasn't a coincidence. It was a sign. It seemed to point to a place of significance. But what kind? And where was the place?
I don't feel well. I need air. This happens to me when the energy feels like it does at a cemetery. I need outside.
I'm also finding it challenging to work. For some reason, the informational field is closed. I feel a lot of inexplicable fear here.
It's as if my heart is working twice as hard, this trembling sensation. This happens when a place is oversaturated with energy. Some forces don't want us here.
My goodness.
I felt a sense of impending death.
What does that mean?
It seems like there was fear leading up to what happened.
What are the psychics talking about? Did Zhenya really sense her imminent death?
Zhenya was plagued by fears. Before her death, there was an energy surge coming from below, like a volcano erupting.
In the room where you were, the laminate was torn up, along with the concrete on the floor.
That's the exact spot where my coin fell.
Yes, at the very spot where the coin fell, the floor burst.
I had a terrifying vision. As if the earth split open and something shriveled, shaggy, and very frightening emerged straight from the abyss. At that moment, I didn't understand what it was.
Could the entity the clairvoyant saw be linked to Zhenya's death? But what is it, and how is it connected?
Let's start with Zhenya. She was a very kind person.
I see 2 sons, but she always dreamed of having a daughter. For her, you were like her own.
Yes.
She cared for you. She helped you with the baby, so you could rest.
You loved her very much.
Yes.
She loved you deeply.
Oh, God.
I looked at her photograph while she was alive. Her aura, her energy. It felt like a dense black fog, sticky, viscous, and full of holes. It was punctured in many places.
And the most damage was near her chest. There was an otherworldly cold right here, near her heart. She was wearing something, like a talisman or amulet. But it was definitely dark magic.
Something used to bind the wrists and feet of the deceased.
Yes, she told me about it.
In magic, bindings are used. Those ropes that tie the hands and feet of the deceased. It's terrifying and powerful magic. These enchanted ropes were what Zhenya wore close to her heart.
This is horrifying. But why would she wear ropes from a corpse?
She asked someone knowledgeable to do something to bring profit to her work. She wanted to attract money.
She came back, took out these ropes, and said she had visited a woman. It was to help her business, and the woman told her to wear them near her heart.
Zhenya had worked at the market for 2 years, selling food. Recently, business hadn't been going well, few customers, low earnings, so she decided to improve her financial situation through magic.
And it worked. She got the money, but not for long.
This must never be done under any circumstances. Because by wearing items from the deceased, especially those imbued with magic, you bind yourself to death forever. You allow dark forces to control your life, money, actions, and everything else.
You must understand and remember, if you're given something, you'll inevitably have to give something in return.
Were these ropes the cause of her death?
I'm not entirely sure. It's just a connecting link. A thread. A rope that tied her to some mighty, immense dark force.
The true cause is much deeper. I see someone near her in her final moments.
A nightmare. Does this mean Zhenya's death wasn't an accident? Was she killed?
It's not human, but a demon. It's short and it emits a putrid smell. It has something like fur or a hide. And it's shaggy.
Oh God.
It's an entity.
What is it?
I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. Periodically, behind Tatiana, I saw this repulsive figure, either human or animal. But it was impossible to understand at the time. At one point, it came very close to her and I felt its snarl, its jaws. I realized it was ready to attack. But as soon as I began describing the creature, it disappeared.
So terrifying. Could Tatiana also be in mortal danger? And is this somehow connected to Zhenya's death?
She's holding a dead girl in her arms, saying, "And now I'm taking care of her here."
Yes, a stillborn girl.
It's as if she was deliberately pulled out.
They induced labor, yes. My waters broke 6 months into pregnancy.
It's very painful for Tatiana to recall this. Her first daughter was born dead.
And the second child, stillborn, she's showing me too.
My sister-in-law's.
Your sister-in-law also lost a baby.
Yes, also a girl.
This is simply devastating. 2 stillborn babies in one family. But why? Is the same force that took Zhenya responsible for taking the newborns?
I need to visit the place where Zhenya died.
I can't join you because I have a baby to feed on schedule. Zhenya's sister will accompany you.
Larissa, Zhenya's younger sister, had been close to her since childhood. On the tragic day, Larissa was also at the country house. It was here, in their family home, that Zhenya died.
Olga, come here quickly. I feel it. Right here, this spot.
Yes, this is the place.
Here were the wires.
The wire ran here?
But it was intact.
Yes.
There were no breaks or faults. Nothing.
No, nothing. The police found absolutely nothing.
The wiring was functional. The machine was brand new.
Yes, we had just bought it.
You all silently went your separate ways, each taking on a task and working quietly.
She was doing laundry. I was planting grass. And my elder sister was sorting potatoes. It was something supernatural.
When I came here, I saw something shaggy, short, and with a distorted face. Neither a beast nor a human. I don't know what it was. I'd never seen anything like it. It scared me. Did she ever tell you she saw someone?
She said she saw something shaggy.
Who or what did Zhenya see before her death? And is the entity responsible for her demise?
I need to feel the water. The electricity passed through the water. Quiet. Don't look. Let's leave.
What did the clairvoyant see? What led her to sacrifice her magical mirror?
I can't tell if it was a human or beast in the mirror.
It was something awful.
It's Shaggy. At first I thought it was a dog, but it wasn't a dog. It had the body of a dog, but a human face. I can't make sense of it. This mirror allows us to see entities or spirits. This presence was otherworldly. It appeared at this very place.
I can't shake the feeling that someone is watching us. A tall man. He's not old. He's indeed very kind and handsome. Completely unlike the entity we saw earlier.
He died in this house.
It's Victor.
His legs were broken.
Yes, it's Zhenya's husband, Victor.
As it turns out, Zhenya's husband, Victor, limped for the last 3 years of his life. He worked as a welder on construction sites and fell from a height.
He spent 3 months in traction, and Zhenya visited him every day, caring for their 2 children at the same time.
After the injury, Victor suffered circulation problems and passed away from a heart attack a year and a half later.
He suddenly fell dead in the kitchen.
He says your sister's death wasn't an accident. Just like his own.
He'd seen the entity before he fell and nearly died.
Something woke him up while he was sleeping. It was a shaggy creature, standing by the window.
Did he ever see it in the mirror?
Yes, before his death.
He saw it at the window and in the mirror many times before he died.
Zhenya saw it in her bedroom. It was Shaggy.
What is the entity that's been haunting the family for years?
I saw it in my mirror too. It's aggressive. I've never seen anything like it. It lives there, in that house. It followed Zhenya. She brought it from that house.
Olena, we need to return to that cursed place.
The clairvoyant and Larissa head back to the home where Zhenya lived with her son and his family.
Something's wrong with this place. It gives a cemetery-like feeling.
It's been years since Zhenya's husband passed away, and I sense there have been more deaths since then. In every apartment, something tragic has happened.
Here, coffins are carried endlessly. I want to go this way.
12 apartments. Almost every apartment has seen death. Drowning, beating, not returning from the army.
You go to the hospital and the local doctor would ask, "Has something happened again?" Even she says the building is cursed. Something always happens there.
Almost every apartment has lost someone.
I feel a sense of loss. It's like a girl. People, open up. Psychic investigations. Tell me. Did you lose a child? Did a girl pass away?
Yes. Olga.
Was she 12 to 13 years old? She was born healthy, but then something inside her broke.
The poor woman has been grieving the unexplained death of her daughter for over 10 years.
I feel great sorrow here too. A boy was beaten badly here, and he's no longer alive.
My son didn't return from the army. He was beaten to death.
The psychics approached each apartment, sensing tragic deaths behind every door. One by one, the building's residents came out to learn why people keep dying here.
She endured great sorrow, the loss of her son.
You found him in that shed. There was supposed to be a celebration. People, guests, but instead, there was a funeral.
Indeed, about 10 years ago, her son was found hanged in a nearby shed.
A boy hanged himself here, out of nowhere. He was about to turn 20, and just before his birthday, he hanged himself.
It turned out the young man hanged himself over unrequited love.
I see an image of hell.
Here's what I see. A large building and a huge cauldron. A man leaned over it, and there's boiling water. It's like an infernal furnace.
As it turned out, about 50 years ago, when the village still had a collective farm, there was a massive cauldron near this building where food was prepared. A man fell into it and was boiled alive.
It was used to make food for livestock. A man fell in.
The building is burdened. So few apartments, but every year someone dies here. Both young and old die for completely inexplicable reasons.
Could it be that the house itself is taking the lives of its residents? But why?
I feel infernal flames, and I feel that he became unwell. He was scared of the shaggy beast.
I sense it's the same entity that Zhenya and her husband saw before their deaths.
This sends shivers down the spine. Could the entity be responsible for all the deaths? And is it the same one the psychics have been seeing throughout the investigation? But what is it, and why does it take human lives?
I see large, sorrowful eyes like those of an animal.
I see that for some reason livestock in the building.
What are the psychics talking about? Why do they see livestock? After all, people live in here. Workers from the collective farm who came from other towns were settled here.
The collective farm was vast. People came and they were given apartments.
When we moved here, there was a calf barn. Later, the calves were taken away, and it was converted into apartments.
So, the psychics saw images from the past, and this building really did house cows at one time?
I see that all the animals were led to their deaths from here. There's a slaughterhouse nearby. I feel their fear before death.
While we were talking to people, the enraged, hysterical, shaggy, shriveled entity was jumping around us. It was using all its strength to scare us and drive us out of the building.
I realized who we've been seeing all this time. I recognized it. It's the protector of animals. You took over its territory.
This entity is the protector of animals. It's angry at humans. You boil them, then boil and burn in hell yourselves. It threw the man into the cauldron and boiled him. You break their bones, your bones start breaking. You kill them with electricity, there you go. Everything done to animals is done to humans. You lead them on ropes, hangings, there you go. The deaths have a certain violent cycle.
But why is the protector of animals so angry at the residents of this building? And what can be done? These poor people are innocent. Will they continue to die because of this entity's revenge?
When the next full moon comes every morning for 12 consecutive days, place a bowl of milk on your doorstep. And, in another bowl, crack a raw egg.
When I was walking through the shops, I came across a souvenir. Using a special incantation, I turned it into a talisman. This charm will protect the entire building. Let it stand in the middle of the building, in apartment number 6.
We are genuinely grateful for helping us.
A deadly supernatural force is haunting a little boy. Will the psychics be able to stop it? Don't miss this gripping investigation. What terrible sin is an entire family paying for? This 4-year-old boy, Leonid, appears no different from other children his age. He lives in a Ukrainian village and goes to kindergarten. Lively, active, curious. But ever since Leonid was born, his mother Natalia has lived in fear. The woman is convinced her son has one foot in the grave and believes some kind of dark magical interference is to blame.
I have a question about my child, about his health.
Natalia claims to be extremely attentive to her child's health.
For Natalia, the child is everything.
But her son ends up in the hospital almost every month, and each time with a different diagnosis. He catches a common cold several times a month, but unlike most children, it is not just sneezing and coughing. Always with a fever of 40. One night, Natalia couldn't bring the temperature down. In the morning, the boy stopped breathing.
Intravenous drips. They flushed everything out of his system. The child was in a very serious condition. When I arrived, I was in shock, but they managed to bring him back.
Doctors were unable to explain why the child's breathing stopped during what should have been a routine cold.
I don't know what is causing all of this with the child.
His poor mother is afraid to even imagine what might happen next. She believes the constant illnesses, each one capable of taking her son from this world, are the result of someone's dark magical interference.
I'd like to turn to the psychics for help.
After receiving a letter with Leonid's photo, Kyle Alekperov began his work.
I see a strange image. The boy is standing in a bright white light, and from the sky a star falls right into his hands. This is a very unusual child.
Psychic Iryna Laska also takes on the case.
I had a dream. I saw a woman crying uncontrollably. She was sitting outside. All around her, coffins, and inside them, children. She was in despair, overwhelmed with guilt. Beside her stood another boy. And it felt like he was looking into my eyes and said, "Help us."
Let's go, Bunny. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Leonid, show our guests into the yard. Please come in. We've been expecting you.
What caught the psychic's attention?
In that spot, I felt a terrifying dark energy. It was as if death itself had come here. But just as I began to tune in to understand what was going on, the boy started calling me.
Let's all go into the room. It's warm there.
When Leonid stood in the doorway and called me, I saw an angel next to him. But as I came closer, everything vanished, and I heard the word ransom.
Now then, take a look. What pictures are here?
It's a little cross.
You like the cross, don't you?
And I have more pictures too.
He's honestly such an interesting little one. He has this wisdom about him, despite being so young.
Leonid, I feel you really love to draw. Can you tell me what you've drawn here?
That's me. That's Mommy. That's a river. And flowers.
I don't see the boy's father near him. And the child knows how hard it is for you alone. He tries to help you in everything.
Natalia separated from Leonid's father about 2 years ago. She says their personalities just didn't match. And her son does help her with everything like a grown-up.
He helps a lot. He even feeds the poultry. He goes to the store, and he's only 4. He helps me around the house. He mops the floors and waters the flowers.
Leonid isn't just hardworking, and he's also very sharp. He has an incredible memory. If he remembers something, he never forgets it.
Everyone around notices that little Leonid has a phenomenal memory and speaks like an adult.
He was about 3 when he came to us. He already knew things that, well, even preschoolers don't usually learn. He's smart beyond his years.
You don't let the boy play with dogs, cats, or any other furry animals.
He starts coughing.
It turns out Leonid is also allergic. His coughing fits are triggered by animal fur and dust.
He likes to grumble.
Yes.
He's got a little attitude like a grumpy old grandpa, right?
He's a very emotional child. He can sense the mood of the adult approaching him.
Right now, I see a vision. The boy is getting out of bed and screaming loudly.
About 2 weeks ago, he woke up at night crying. He was saying something, but I couldn't understand the words. Screaming, flailing, out of nowhere. He wouldn't speak, just arch his back and collapse. I could barely catch him by the legs. He bit me, growled like a bear cub. He spun on the floor like a top.
That night, Natalia was truly terrified. Her son acted like a wild animal. Even his gaze changed. But when the fit passed, Leonid returned to being the calm, sweet boy he usually is.
I sense that sometimes the child has a certain look, like he's entranced. He stares into space and seems completely disconnected, as if he's been transported to another world.
Yes, that happened very often. He scared me a lot.
Doctors haven't been able to explain what's happening. Leonid has been examined by psychologists and psychiatrists. Their verdict, the child is perfectly healthy. Could an unknown supernatural force really be influencing him?
We did all the tests, all the examinations, ECG, and everything related to the head. Everything came back normal.
But the strange episodes kept happening. Natalia is convinced some otherworldly force is attacking her child.
I took him to church, and there he'd collapse so violently that you couldn't even approach him. I was afraid to leave him alone. He would lash out, scream, growl.
But what exactly is happening to 4-year-old Leonid?
I feel a very terrifying dark energy. Leonid is a good child, but I understand your worry is not in vain. I see him, even before birth, already fighting for his life, as if being caught between two worlds.
Natalia was in labor for nearly 24 hours. It turned out Leonid had a short umbilical cord that wouldn't stretch during contractions, cutting off his oxygen and preventing his birth.
He was born not breathing. He spent 10 days in intensive care.
From his birth, Leonid has been surrounded by a dark energetic cloud. Usually these entities drain people of all their life force.
Could the threat be so grave that Leonid might soon die? Can he be saved?
Excuse me, I need to step away for a moment. Iryna, come with me. I need to show you something.
What or whom did the Azerbaijani psychic see that frightened him so much?
I feel that many people were gathered here recently. I see flowers, but it wasn't a celebration. There was a coffin here, and now I sense the spirit of a young man.
He's touching you like this.
That's my brother. He always used to lift my hair like that. It was his thing.
He's telling me he died in an accident, and he's pointing over there.
Yes.
As it turns out, several years ago Natalia's younger brother Yuri died in a car crash. It was Christmas, and he decided to meet friends, and just 300 meters from home, the tragedy struck. The road was icy. The driver lost control. Yuri died instantly. Strangely, although he had left on his own car, his body was found in someone else's vehicle.
Your brother's spirit visits this house very often.
I've seen it. My mother feels it. I felt his presence after the funeral. I was trying to fall asleep and I hear the door opening. I turned on the TV turns off.
It seemed to me that Leonid also senses the presence of his uncle's spirit in the house. Usually children don't talk about such things, but sometimes they get scared. In such cases, they start acting strangely. For example, they become afraid to sleep.
As it turned out, right after his uncle's death, Leonid was no longer himself. He cried a lot and lost sleep.
For 9 days, he didn't sleep at all.
I didn't feel any negative influence on Leonid from Natalia's deceased brother. The problem lies elsewhere. My jinns told me that Yuri's death and the boy's strange fits may somehow be connected. We urgently need to go to the place where your brother died.
The psychics, along with Natalia, walked to a nearby street.
The tragedy happened right here.
People with supernatural abilities are joined by locals who sympathize with the family's grief.
I sense the mother of the deceased man is here.
I'm Yuri's mother.
My condolences for your loss. I see that the car your son was in came from there. There are other people inside it as well.
As it turned out, on that fatal day, the young man was heading to meet his friends in his own car. But he ran into an acquaintance who had just bought a new vehicle. There were already 4 people inside. Yuri became the 5th. After the crash, only one of them survived.
Your brother wasn't supposed to be in that car. It's as if some force pulled him in. It's like death was calling him. I can even hear its voice. Tell me, please, did Yuri ever mention any premonitions or dreams to you?
On the 6th, the day before, he was completely unlike himself, withdrawn.
I feel like the father of the deceased boy is here too. Can I speak with him? Yuri's spirit says that after his death, you considered taking your own life.
The boy's father has been deeply grieving and cannot forgive himself for not protecting his son.
You were blamed for a terrible car crash. I see you behind the wheel with 4 dead boys lying beneath the wheels of your car.
As it turned out, 25 years ago, Yuri's father was indeed involved in a horrific accident. His car collided head-on with another vehicle, killing all 4 passengers instantly. Could the death of Yuri Jr. be retribution for the sin committed by Yuri Sr.?
Yuri's father is not to blame for the accident. The boys in that car were drunk and drove into the oncoming lane.
It turned out that court proceedings in this case lasted several years. Eventually, all charges against Yuri Sr. were dropped.
There was absolutely no dad's fault. They were completely drunk.
Now your son's spirit is asking you to stop blaming yourself. The reason for his death lies elsewhere.
He came to me in a dream and said that he's protecting Leonid, watching over him.
Still, I feel that something is threatening your child's life. I keep seeing a black haze around him.
Could Leonid, like his uncle, be destined to die? But why?
I see a woman, an old woman. She's connected to your family line.
She is no longer alive. She's a blood relative.
She's quite small and frail, wearing a headscarf.
My mother and Natalia's grandmother.
Grandmother Yevhenia died almost 15 years ago of liver cancer. She was around 40 years old.
I sense that she's buried somewhere over there. Her spirit is calling me to her grave. Others in this family have also died, and their deaths are somehow connected to what's happening to little Leonid.
This is my grandmother's grave.
To tune in to Leonid's great-grandmother, we need to perform a ritual.
She's come.
I feel that this woman carries a great sin related to a man. Your mother stole him from another family, it seems.
She took him away because I see the tears of that other woman. She had 2 children too.
But man did not abandon his own children. When Yevhenia married him, they took in and raised the 2 daughters from his first marriage.
My mother raised those 2 girls.
Yevhenia says that she also lost a child, a boy. He didn't even get a chance to live.
Something terrible happened. He was born too early.
Natalia's grandfather worked as a fuel tanker driver. One day, as he was approaching the depot on a slippery road, he lost control and crashed into a passenger bus. The tanker immediately caught fire. Luckily, the bus was empty. This horrifying scene was witnessed by his pregnant wife, Yevhenia.
She witnessed that crash.
She's watching. Everything inside her tightens.
After the accident, her husband survived, but the shock caused Yevhenia to miscarry.
She went into premature labor in her 8th month, gave birth to a son who lived only a few hours before he died.
The child's death wasn't accidental. It felt like some force ripped the baby from the mother's womb. That's when I realized. It's the same entity that took Leonid's uncle Yuri. And now it's after the boy.
So both Leonid's grandmother and great-grandmother lost sons. Could the death of Natalia's son be inevitable too?
Your mother knew something. She suspected there was a problem with sons in your family, that mothers are fated to suffer from losing them. Your mother is begging us to save Leonid. Danger has followed him since his birth. He came into this world by some miracle, but he has protection. Not only is Uncle Yuri watching over him from above, there is something greater that won't allow your son to die. I feel that Leonid was born with this protection. I don't see the same in the other boys from your family. Then I thought, maybe the angel I saw beside Leonid is his guardian. But where did he come from? And why is he protecting Leonid in particular? Now the spirit of another woman has appeared. She's walking that way and calling us to follow. She told us to stop here.
Kayal Alekperov stopped near a grave where Leonid's great-great-grandmother, Pelageya, and great-grandfather Fedor are buried. The woman died 20 years ago. She was over 80.
I realized it was this woman I had seen. I recognized her from a photograph. I had a dream. I saw a woman crying a lot. Around her were coffins and inside them children.
Horrifying. Could it be that Pelageya, like her daughter and granddaughter, also lost sons?
It became clear that this is where we'll find the answer.
This woman had 2 sons. They got sick and died. I think it was something with their throats.
Yes, my grandmother lost 2 little boys. She buried both of her children.
Pelageya had 2 sons. When the younger was 1 and the older was 2, they caught a cold and died. After that, she had 1 more child, a girl. She never had more children.
Your family is under some kind of curse.
A man abandons a pregnant woman. She's in tears.
Yes.
Our heroine's mother, Valentina, immediately understood who it was about. This story is forbidden in their family. She learned about it by accident as a child, overhearing a conversation between her grandmother and a friend. Her grandfather, before marrying, was involved with another woman. She got pregnant, but he didn't rush to propose and kept courting other women. That's how he met his future wife, Pelageya, whom he chose over the pregnant woman he abandoned.
My grandfather had a woman who was left pregnant. Somewhere in the neighboring village. It was the early 1940s. Imagine a woman with a child in those years.
This happened during the terrible years of the Holodomor. Even complete families struggled to feed their children. And for a single woman with a baby, it was nearly impossible.
I understood that the abandoned woman gave birth to a boy, but because she had nothing to feed him, he died. Grief-stricken and furious, she cursed Valentina's grandfather and all the men in his bloodline. I can hear her saying, "May all the sons born into your family die." The curse is still active. It's very strong because it's the curse of a woman who lost her child after being abandoned.
But what can be done now? Can 4-year-old Leonid be saved?
I felt that members of this family have begun doing good deeds, which are slowly weakening the curse. Your grandmother says you've been donating money to build a house of God?
We're building a church.
That's a righteous act. What you're doing now, participating in building a church, is a form of atonement for the sins committed in your family line.
I remembered my vision again, Leonid, with an angel beside him. We need to see Leonid again. How are you? Today we've learned a lot about you, and now I understand. You are a remarkable child. I feel that your son's soul has already lived through more than one life in the human world. Once, he was a ruler who governed an entire nation.
A dictator, kind of.
Natalia, when I saw the photo of your boy, I had a vision. Like a star falling into his hands. Now I know. Stars fall only into the hands of those whom the Lord loves. Such people possess great power.
You have an extraordinary child. He carries a mission to lift your family line and free it.
Leonid was born into this family to atone for the sin of his great-great-grandfather. And the angel I've seen several times in my visions beside the boy symbolized that he is a special child, capable of righting the wrongs of his ancestor. Leonid will face many more trials in life because nothing that happens to him is accidental. He must endure every hardship.
We hope everything will be all right. Thank you very much for explaining and helping us.